On June 10, 2024, Chrisean Rock pulled up to a San Fernando Valley courthouse in Van Nuys with her baby in her arms. She was there to show face for Blueface's probation hearing. 5 lapped officers were already positioned and waiting. She got grabbed on the spot, Oklahoma fugitive warrant and California assault charge running simultaneously, baby in hand, inside a courthouse parking lot. 4 days later, she was sentenced. 2 months after that, she was extradited to Oklahoma. And by the time she walked out, something had shifted in a way that the internet is still trying to figure out how to categorize. Here is the full story from the beginning. Chrisean Rock's government name is Chrisean Eugenia Malone, born March 14, 2000 in West Baltimore. Rapper, Zeus Network Baddies alum, and the mother of a son born September 2023. By the time she was 24, she had cases running across 3 states, 2 felonies on her record, and a fugitive warrant that had been sitting open for months, waiting for her to walk into the wrong building. The first case dropped in May 2020 in Maryland: weed possession and paraphernalia. She missed her court date, and a bench warrant hit in July 2021. She was just starting to build her name through Blueface's internet run at that point. The case stayed on the books, unresolved, parked. The case that really locked her into the system came in February 2022 in Craig County, Oklahoma. She was a passenger in a car that got pulled over for an unpaid toll. Troopers caught the smell, ran the car, and came up with approximately a pound of cannabis. Chrisean told them it was hers. 2 felonies off that stop: possession of a controlled dangerous substance with intent to distribute, and possession without the required tax stamp. Under Oklahoma law, each charge carried up to 4 years. Combined, she was looking at 8 years potentially. The case dragged. She went back to California. In March 2023, she pleaded guilty and received 4 years of probation and a 120 community service hours due by September 2023. No time served on the front end. Just stay out of trouble, complete the hours, check in. She didn't do the community service. By early 2024, Oklahoma prosecutors moved to accelerate her deferred judgment, and a felony fugitive warrant was issued. While the Oklahoma warrant was building, a separate charge opened in California. November 10, 2023, Tamar Braxton's concert at the Novo in downtown LA. Chrisean allegedly ran up on backup dancer James Wright Chanel, punched him while wearing rings, and broke 2 of his teeth. Criminal charges filed January 2024. Assault with a deadly weapon and battery. Wright also filed a civil suit, so by spring 2024, she was sitting on an active Oklahoma felony warrant, an open assault case in California, a baby under a year old, and a BD who was about to catch his own bid, and she was still moving through LA like none of it was real. Then she pulled up to that courthouse parking lot, and everything caught up at once. To understand how she got there, you have to understand what Blueface contributed to every step of that timeline. Chrisean entered his world in 2020 as a contestant on Blue Girls Club, his OnlyFans reality run during COVID. She came in with an energy that said she would ride for this man at any cost. Fought his other baby mama, Jaden Alexis, lost a front tooth in the process, won the competition, got signed to his label, and started a relationship where the rules applied to her but not to him. The Oklahoma arrest happened while she was riding in a car Blueface publicly accused her of stealing. He and Whack 100 blasted her online immediately, locking in the narrative that she was the one out of pocket before she had any platform to respond from. The 2022 Arizona situation happened at a location they were both at. The disorderly conduct and criminal trespass charges were the legal paper trail of a relationship that had been building toward exactly this kind of outcome from the start. In October 2022, she went on Instagram Live showing injuries and said Blueface had put his hands on her in a moving vehicle. The next day, she walked it back, said she was intoxicated, said he was actually stopping her from jumping out. The retraction closed nothing. It confirmed the cycle everyone watching already understood. And by 2023, they had a Zeus Network docuseries, Crazy in Love, that was a professional camera crew following their dysfunction for content. Years later, she said watching it back, she was never happy in any of it. Not one moment. She was in a dark place the entire time and could not find a way out because leaving him meant leaving the platform he had given her. He was also blocking her professionally. She said on record that she believed her baby father had a lot to do with why artists and labels wouldn't work with her. Not speculation, a direct statement about how his presence was cutting off her opportunities while every other part of her life was already on fire. Blueface himself caught attempted murder charges in October 2022 for allegedly firing into an occupied vehicle outside a Vegas strip club. He eventually pleaded down to battery and discharging a firearm, violated his probation, and in August 2024, a Los Angeles judge sentenced him to 4 years in state prison. Both of them were locked up at essentially the same time. Their son was on the outside. Back to the courthouse. After the June 10th arrest, Chrisean was sentenced June 14th. 30 days in jail, 12 months probation, stay-away order on James Wright and the venue. Battery charge was dropped. She served the 30 days at Century Regional Detention Facility in Linwood, then was extradited to Oklahoma and booked into Craig County Detention Center around August 7, 2024, while the 2022 drug case moved toward final resolution. Her lawyer at the time was pitching a 4-year deal. She fired that lawyer. She said in prayer it didn't sit right with her. The case resolved without the multi-year sentence. She walked out in early September 2024, roughly 3 months across both facilities. Her son had just turned 1 without her. She described the moment the door closed as peaceful. Not panic, not rage. Peace. She said she had been dragging herself and her faith through every court date, every club night, every Instagram beef, and the cell was the first place that forced everything to stop. She read the Bible cover to cover. She ran Bible studies inside the facility. She said women were getting saved in there because of her. The structure of confinement, which most people experience as dehumanizing, read to her as something familiar. She grew up with nothing, no stability, no guaranteed roof. Rules and hard constraints weren't foreign. They returned her to a version of herself she recognized before the cameras showed up. Regarding her son, he was born September 3, 2023. Footage from Chrisean's pregnancy circulated, showing her at club appearances and on Instagram Lives, and those clips drew serious public scrutiny about prenatal substance exposure. Developmental concerns were raised publicly as her son got older. Chrisean confirmed he was in physical therapy around age 2.5 and spoke about progress in sessions. She consistently rejected a disability label publicly while maintaining he was being cared for. The combination of the prenatal footage and her public stance generated significant ongoing criticism. After walking out, the transformation she described had receipts attached. In April 2025, she released Yahweh, a gospel single with Tim Bowman Jr., Orisa, and Faith City Music. She joined the worship team at Faith City Central in Baltimore. In June 2025, Oklahoma granted her early probation termination. Original end date was late 2026. She posted the paperwork. Whatever you think about the faith framing, a court reviewed her conduct and signed off early. That is a document, not a vibe. In April 2026, she stepped into a boxing ring professionally for the first time and won her debut fight at X Rumble by split decision. Clarissa Shields, one of the greatest in women's boxing, publicly acknowledged her discipline. For someone known primarily for catching bodies in parking lots and on reality show sets, being recognized by an actual combat sports legend for actual athletic work was a different category of achievement entirely. There was a bench warrant in early 2026 over a December 2025 traffic situation, driving on a suspended license in Hermosa Beach. She disputed it, said the license was work-restricted rather than fully pulled, and began handling it. Old paperwork catching up, not a new pattern starting. She also said publicly that she had been suicidal during the years she spent inside that relationship, that watching Chrisean Love back, she was never happy in any of it, that she had wanted to die but was too scared to act on it, and that the fear had kept her alive long enough to get somewhere worth being. What separates Chrisean Rock's story from most celebrity legal sagas is that the receipts exist on both sides, and none of them require you to take anyone's word for anything. The pregnancy footage is time-stamped. The probation termination paperwork is filed. The mugshot is archived. The boxing win is on record. The gospel single is on streaming platforms. The question the internet keeps arguing about is not really whether she changed. It is at what point a person gets measured by who they became instead of only by what they did before they got there. The receipts are there. Both piles. You decide which one weighs more. Drop a comment. Do you think Chrisean Rock's transformation is real, or are you still in wait-and-see mode?